everybody, my name is Rob. Welcome back to vidIQ, the YouTube tool, the YouTube channel, the YouTube Learning Academy that educates you on your YouTube journey. And as always, every single Tuesday, we welcome you into our home where people from vidIQ and guests beyond share our experience, our wisdom, and hopefully help you grow your channels. And as always, I could not do this without a wonderful collection of guests. This week, I feel as if we have like one of the original gangsters and one of the fairly new gangsters joining us this week. Of course, we're welcoming, as always, Travis in the house. Hey, how's it going, Travis? I hope you fixed your lights.
Nope.
Nope.
This is what you should do. Spend a lot of money on lights that are smart and have a stream deck with them and then let it break for no apparent reason, randomly. It's good.
Yeah, so we have an audience of 930,000 subscribers, Travis. If you do want to complain to Elgato, maybe this is a forum to do it.
Yes, Elgato, what the heck, man?
And welcome us back here, somebody who likes to wear different merch on every single live stream that they do, and this shirt today, Jeff, is Trust Your Dopeness, which is an awesome shirt. Welcome back. Hello, everybody.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, hello. So we kind of got an original cast, a new cast. We were going to have a guest on this week, but they've had some technical difficulties just before we went live, so it's just the three of us this week. And I think we'll do some shout-outs. First of all, a shout-out here to Goose Plays 20. Where is Dan? Dan is doing what his executive producing this week. He has stuff behind the scenes that he needs to take care of, but he will be back tomorrow, so don't worry about Dan. He'll be back very soon. Travis, I'm going to let you do some shout-outs. Who are you saying hello to? I'm just going to bring some people up on the chat as well as I do this.
All right, Taylor Wrestler, good to see you. Hello. We got Nintendo time. Of course, you see that new Switch with the OLED. Are you going to get that there, Rob? Foxy TLSY, is Rob a robot? I think the answer to that is obvious.
Hopefully not. I don't think I'm a robot.
Gibby Gav in the house saying hello.
All right, awesome. And
Dimitri Jacala. Good to see you. Me. Good to see you.
Look what I've just done. I've just completely detached my microphone arm from
Gorge.
So, Jeff, while you say hello to some people, I'm going to fix this now.
No worries, man. No worries.
There we go.
We've got Maximo Minecraft, and we've got Derek Hunt Artist. We got Super Gaming. Let's see who else do we have here. We've got First Yeet Gamers. And I like pizza. I like pizza too.
We all like pizza. I had pizza last night as well. So yeah, I'm saying hello to Lacey Mill. I'm saying hello to Noir Wob. I like pizza. CV Cam. We've got also First Oddities Observed. Splodge Ball is also here, and Q Gaming. Thank you, all of you, for joining us today. Now you may have noticed, Travis noticed this when we were pre-live. We can now set trailers on our live streams, and this trailer was how all of this weird and wonderful live streaming works. Do let us know in the chat, by the way, if you are brand new here to vidIQ live streams, or if you are, I guess, an original gangster. You've been here for a couple of weeks, months, years. I'm going to show you that explainer one more time just to make sure that everybody knows what they're getting into for the next couple of hours. So this is how our channel audit is going to work in this 1-minute explainer video. Welcome to the vidIQ channel audit livestream, where we review your YouTube channels. There are 2 links in the description, one for gaming channels, one for non-gaming channels. Make sure you submit every week as we clear the form after every live stream. Channel audits are 100% free, so please don't send us any super chats expecting to receive an audit. And don't waste your time asking for one in the chat. If there are any alternative ways to get picked for an audit, such as memes, we will let you know during the live stream. If we can't audit your channel today, vidIQ has a channel audit tool working 24/7 for you. If you haven't already installed vidIQ, download it now for free. A link is in the description, and make sure to take advantage of our free 30-day trial. If you submit your channel for audit, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, our experience, and our passion as fellow YouTube creators. It's up to you whether or not you take our advice. There are tons of links to lots of useful resources in the video description. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Share this live stream with another fellow creator who may find it useful. And finally, moderators, thank you for everything that you do every single week. All right, let's do this. All right then, so this is how it will work. We're going to audit your channel for the next couple of hours. A bit of housekeeping as always. We continue to support the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund. I mean, fingers crossed in a few months we're not going to have to do that anymore, but if you do want to donate super chat wise, all that money goes to that proceed, so thank you very much in advance. We get around about 900 channel submissions every single week, so we apologize in advance if we can't audit your channel personally. However, here's what I recommend you do. If you have a second screen available, please do bring that up now so that you have your channel on screen. And as we're auditing creators' channels, try and objectively apply some of the fundamental strategies that we're talking about and see if they're going to apply to your channels. And finally, of course, I did a poll before we went live, just wondering how many people actually use vidIQ. And according to the 1,000 votes that we had pre-live stream, which is pretty incredible, 81% of you already use vidIQ, which is incredible. So I just wanted to let you know that not only do we have a Chrome extension, but also we have a web application which gives you so much more access to areas of your channel. You know, YouTube Studio has a channel dashboard, but so do we, which shows you the best time to post, keyword opportunities, how your channel's performing. We've also got the daily ideas tool that's still in beta right now, but it's getting better every single day, learning what you do on your channel and suggesting new video ideas. Then we have a competitors area where you can add competitors and compare yourself to others. And unfortunately, we are still getting crushed by Think Media, but hopefully one day maybe we can wrestle the crown as the top YouTube educator on YouTube or something like that. Yeah, so there's loads of tools here available on the web app, and you access that by clicking on the vidIQ button in the Chrome extension and going to any one of these analytics. And there are many tools here that are available for Boost and Pro users. And if you want to take advantage of vidIQ even more, if you are already a user but you're not yet paying for it, we have a link in the video description which will give you free 30-day access to all of our tools. Make sure to check it out if you are a brand new paying customer with vidIQ. And with all of that being said, I don't need to ask Jeff or Travis if you can see my screen, because I know now that works because everybody can see my screen all at once. So let's bring up the first channel that we are going to audit. This is the first channel that's submitted in the form this week, and we are looking at a channel that is everything Windows. So let's start with Jeff and then Travis chime in on what we can see here.
All right, so everything Windows. Let's see here. It says eWin originals, tools, experiments, so facts, how to. So it looks like he's trying to do a little bit of everything. So obviously everything Windows. I think we kind of have a bit of the value proposition there. It'd be cool to kind of get it a little bit clearer. You know, whether it is just kind of get it out there, maybe 3 to 5 words, just make it very, very clear, tighten it up a little bit. But aside from that, overall, pretty good there. Let's see here. I don't know if you want to scroll down a little bit for me.
Sure. Yeah, let's take a look at the thumbnails specifically.
All right. So it looks like they're staying fairly consistent. Looks like we might be doing either 1 to about 2-3 videos per week. So overall doing pretty good. I like that they're sticking to it as well. Windows Beta. Let's see. eWin the Beta Explorer. How to know. Okay. Windows 11 there. Windows 11 there. Windows 11 there. Okay. All right. So yeah. So they're definitely staying on top of the latest, which is good. Let's see here.
I do want to hear the Windows 98 startup sound slowed down to 6 hours. Can you start that? I'm so curious.
All right. I don't think I've set up audio to play, unfortunately.
So curious.
Which one was that? Was it the bum blum bum?
That's what I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, maybe you can check that out on your own time, Travis, because we ain't got 6 hours to listen to that. I did put in a search or find on screen because Windows 11 is obviously due very soon. It's kind of leaked already. And so when I put that in as a title search, we can see that I think the videos that have Windows 11 in the title are very much performing pretty well versus titles that don't necessarily have Windows in them. So I think, you know, Windows 11 is the future. I, as a creator, especially if I'm in this space, would probably be focusing exclusively on Windows 11 content. I mean, Jeff, Travis, do you agree with that? Or do you think there's still a level of nostalgia if you want to listen to sound effects for 6 hours?
I mean, I think they've already handled the sound effect stuff, but I think the real play here are videos like everything that's different about Windows 11, like how do you move things from Windows 10 to Windows 11, like all of those things that people are going to be looking for the next multiple years. You know, the things that they're used to, are they in different places now in Windows 11? Like all of those little things. I'd be making videos about every single one of those things.
Yep.
I still think that the biggest video is going to be Windows 11, how to move start button back to, what is it, left-hand side? Has anyone done this yet? Yeah, I'm wondering if this one is going to have 1 million views next year, because I never did put the start thing, whatever it is now, in the center of a console.
Yep.
I think we've obviously got to talk about thumbnails. Just general thoughts here. Too much text, impossible to read, maybe a little too PowerPointy in the way they look.
Yeah, the Windows slowdown ones look right because they're using that logo, but they're kind of underwhelming. Like, I would be curious to what other thumbnails look like for this particular type of niche.
Yeah, I mean, you look at each of these ones with Windows 11, and you know, some of them have thousands of views. Can you imagine how many more views they would get if they have more attractive thumbnails in them? I mean, we look at some telltale signs are you're trying to include your channel logo in the top left-hand corner. It's kind of impossible to read. Do you really need it there? And then an insistence on trying to include the title at the very bottom of a thumbnail. It's just not required, is it? I mean, the title is doing that job.
Yeah, there's a couple of like 5-second videos of those shorts. I hope they are, otherwise.
Could be.
Yeah, so they're doing some short videos, doing some very long videos. But I think you could take a little time and really think about what the person would be looking for in regards to Windows, and get in their mind and do those.
Get in their mind. Yeah, let's just do a quick broad search for Windows 11 and see if there are any thumbnail styles that maybe are worth adopting. I like the idea of having like the monitor screen there and maybe some text next to it. You know, it kind of shows that productivity style going on there. So here's some possible inspirations that you could use going forward. I mean, including the computer and then Windows inside the monitor kind of looks nice. Sorry, Jeff, go ahead.
I was say, look at Linus's one. I mean, it's so simple. It's just 11, the Windows logo and 11 on the screen. Like, it's the simplicity of it, where the text is so minimal, but you know exactly what you're getting. Windows 11. And then his face is, you know, giving you the expression of how he feels about it or whatever. Or, you know, it's clickbait like what they usually do. But it's cool. Whatever works on this one. But I agree. I'll be looking at these ranking videos to kind of pull some ideas. And I think one of the things that I'm noticing as a pattern when we're doing this little tidbit of thumbnail research is that less is more when it comes to thumbnails for this keyword that are actually getting clicked on.
Yeah. I guess when it comes to the Linus ones, this is very much where the thumbnail and the title have to work together, because I guess without the title, this thumbnail is a little ambiguous. But like when you start to bring up a concept of why did I get my hopes up, and there's the anguish in his face, those two thumbnails are working very well. Thumbnail and the title are working very well together there. But yeah, some research there required maybe for everything Windows to hopefully take your channel to the next level in terms of everything we want to know about Windows. Moving on then to the first gaming channel that we're going to audit this week. With all of us non-gaming experts in the house, we are looking at Ender Builder. And just from a perspective of first impressions, I thought Ender was something to do with Minecraft.
Yeah.
But I could be completely wrong. There may be a character called Ender in some sort of anime. But even then, when I scroll down, I know this is Friday Nights at Freddy's, even with my limited knowledge of the game. So a bit of a mixed messaging here at the top, but the thumbnails certainly seem to be on point as we're looking through the content. Go ahead, Travis. Sorry if I was
I was thinking the same
halting
thing.
You from jumping in.
Ender for like the Ender Dragon and stuff. That's what I was thinking. So yeah, it's kind of, I'm kind of trying to understand. Well, they're getting a lot of views. It seems like I don't know what the subscriber size again.
So the subscriber size is approaching 8,500 subscribers.
Yeah, so some of them get pretty good views. It just depends on like what they're doing. So there's a short there. There's some Friday Night at Freddy's. Yeah, I mean, it looks generally speaking like a Friday Night at Freddy's channel, but nothing about like the banner or anything lets me know that. But yeah, predominantly that's what they've been working on for the last couple of weeks. What it looks like.
I've left the titles in Portuguese to begin with, just as an experimentation in can we work out what these videos are about without necessarily reading the titles. And my guess here is that perhaps this is a Let's Play Friday Nights at Freddy's channel, or one of those channels that takes a game and creates their own animated stories from them, like they use the characters in the game to create their own stories. I could be wrong though, but I think what I'm basically saying is that there's enough translation in imagery for me to know pretty much what I'm getting into on this channel, even if I don't necessarily speak Portuguese. I will now translate it to maybe give us a bit more of a helping hand here with the titles. And then, yeah, Jeff, if there's anything you're spotting here specifically.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was at a loss at first, but I kind of get what you mean, though. Almost like those role-playing channels where they'll take a game like Grand Theft Auto. There's a lot of role-playing that goes on in that game as well. So I kind of see what you're saying there. But overall, I mean, I like how expressive the thumbnails are. I'm just not familiar with this niche to know if they are, doing thumbnail research when it comes to it. But overall, I mean, things look pretty good. They pop. They got a lot of saturation in those thumbnails, so it looks pretty good. I'm not sure what's going on with the numbered videos, though. Maybe that's the night. If it's 5 nights, maybe it's night number 1 and then night number 2. I don't know. But I'm assuming that maybe that's what's going on there.
Yeah, I'm not sure of that. I'm also really curious. I don't know if this is a bug, but what's going on here? What?
Oh, that's weird.
What are these? Is this when the video premiered?
Crap.
I'm curious enough to click on it just to see what that actually means. Okay, so that is the timestamp, but why is it added AM and PM? I bet it's because when I translated the titles, it added that in for some weird reason. It's probably just a strange typo there. So yeah,
right back, man.
The messaging, I guess, from the channel banner and the icon is a little curious. And then the thumbnails, I think, feel fairly strong in that as Jeff was just mentioning, keeping them relatively simple. We're looking at maybe 1 or 2 characters with something very expressionate there. And I'm getting the vibe that this isn't necessarily a just Let's Play gaming channel. There's something more to this, but we'd have to click in to find out. But there are those, perhaps episode numbers there which are throwing us off a little bit. Any final thoughts on this one, Travis, or shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah, I think we can move on. But yeah, just make it more clear in your value prop what your channel's about, I guess.
Let's move on then to the next channel. I do see the word memes there, but I'm not getting a memes vibe at all from the content itself. Moving on to the next channel then, and this is going to be DM Music Tuition, helping you on your, I guess, musical journey. I see that you've structured your channel banner to have separate sections for when it's on desktop versus mobile. That's an ingenious way of doing it, especially when you're referencing the clickable stuff on the desktop area there. That's a good use of space. And you've got just over 200 subscribers here. We've seen quite a few guitar tutorial channels over the last year, Travis, and I feel as if these thumbnails are certainly going in the right direction in that they're showing the threads and like the arrows pointing to key areas. Might be a little busy and chaotic though. So general thoughts from you two.
Yeah, I think what we did, it was like a couple weeks ago, if I remember correctly, where we were looking at a couple of videos in search, and most of them showed just like this one with the circle in the hand, new to this, that thing, the finger style guitar made music with the green circle. I think a lot of them look similar to that. This one's cool because it has the arrow and the circle. I love that. And new to this, it kind of makes you curious about, what's going on there. So I love that type of content. We have to look at what the subject of the video is and then kind of do some research as to what type of thumbnails work on YouTube for that type of subject. So it might change a little bit, but some of these do seem really busy. And I just wonder if that's the best use of a thumbnail. Some of them just have so much in there. We have Travis picking. What's that?
This one, yeah. Did you make a guest appearance on that one?
Sure.
Sure. I'm looking at the titles here, and I'm just getting a little thrown by what I would get from each of these videos. Maybe it's just terminology that I'm not familiar with. I'll just take this one as an example. We're on our way now, guitar tutorial with tabs, no no talking. So, I mean, let's just click on this video. I think I've got it muted. So, what are we being shown here? Ooh, that looks quite intimidating as an introduction, doesn't it?
Well, I think for people that play, this is probably exactly what they need. I mean, me personally, if I was a beginner, I'd be like, but that's not. I don't think this is what this is for. So I think
right.
This is definitely for people who are intermediate and advanced, and they can look at this and it all makes sense. They can compare the the notes and everything with the hand position. I think it's a cool idea. I actually like it. I think for the people that would be using it. For me, I'm kind of lost.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that it gets straight into the content. So depending on who it's for, there's no time wasted. Like, it's just right in there. So I can appreciate not wasting the audience's time.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Let's see. Okay.
These are the most popular videos I've just sorted by.
Oh, nice. Okay. Not bad. I mean, the most popular videos from 2 months ago, John Mayer. So not bad. Looks like 2 of them were John Mayer videos. And then even a third one, John Mayer Fortnite guitar tutorial. So pretty interesting that he kind of went with that road too. And I think that's something that a lot of the music channels, at least the ones that I follow, whether they're doing instructions or whatever they're doing, sometimes they'll do covers because it does attract audience to their channels. So that's something that they can do. Either you'll see a lot of them doing this. They'll do covers and they also do reactions to other music, and that brings in more audience. But then in between there, they're doing their educational content as well. So it's kind of cool to see.
This is a funny one where the creator could accidentally go off on the wrong path very, very quickly. If they did like a few more Fortnite guitar videos, and if one of them went viral, can you imagine the audience that this channel might accidentally pick up? Big fans of the game itself, who don't necessarily have an interest in playing a guitar, but they just like, a guitar cover version of it. Unless that's a direction that the channel would want to go in, but I presume not. I presume they're not wanting to teach people how to play video game music on a guitar. It's just interesting that there are hints as to what the most popular videos are, even though it might not be the general direction.
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of subscribers, 200, occasional views going well above subscriber count, so that's very promising for the channel. How long have they been going? Let's check.
Also, I like the fact that their thumbnails look far better than my thumbnails look like even when I was at 1,000 subscribers. So it's already promising because it seems like they're definitely paying attention to what's going on with their stuff. So
some thumbnail evolution here. What do you think? Do we prefer these ones from previous, where there might just be a hint of maybe the cause or the threads that have been playing, to this now where they're throwing a lot of visual stuff at the potential viewer?
Yeah, I probably just kind of reduce some of it down a little bit because some of it has a lot of text. But the fact that they're doing it like the Travis picking ad melody, and the one that Travis himself was talking about was the new to this with the arrow, like pointing attention to specific things. I really like where that's going.
All right, so that is DM Music Tuition there. Let's move on to the next channel we are looking at here. And this is Carissa Travels Florida. This is a channel I picked because what I was intrigued to talk about here was potentially the target audience. So if the three of us look at this channel right now, who would you say the target audience is for this channel?
I would say people that are trying to either vacation in Florida or travel there for tourism purposes. That's what I would say.
So my question to extend that, Jeff, would be, do you think it's individuals traveling there? Do you think it's people on a certain budget? Do you think it's families traveling there?
I would say probably individuals, if not maybe a couple. But yeah, it doesn't look like it's really a family kind of thing to me. At least that's not the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, so I think just for this channel to really nail down on their specific target audience, because I guess you generally feel that most travel vlogs about going to Florida would have the family slant to it, but I feel as if this has a different slant to it, and I feel as if the creator should embrace that a little bit more in terms of how they pitch their content to an audience. I feel as if really describing your perfect avatar, your perfect viewer, who might be, let's say, 30 to 35, they're in a relationship, but they're not married. They have lots of disposable income, and they like to go to all of these attractions in Florida, but avoid when all of the kids are there. I know that sounds really specific, but if you can really nail down your perfect target audience, then YouTube has a better job serving up that video to the right audience. I think they're going in the right direction. I just feel as if the next step is really nail down that target audience. But I welcome different opinions here if you have any.
Oh, no, I completely agree. That's actually something that I did for myself, where I identified the exact viewer that I'm going for, and that's exactly who I make my videos for. And the fact that some people might think, well, you're only going after one person, you're really narrowing your focus there. Isn't that going to reduce the audience, that's potential audience? Actually, no, because once you have that potential viewer, YouTube knows who that viewer is. They know however many of their billions of viewers that align with that interest, so they'll know where to share your video. So it makes perfect sense to really aim it for something like whether it's going to be family oriented. Like if you want, if your audience that you're targeting is a couple who have 3 kids and they want to know what the best budget vacations in Florida, like what's the best packages for Universal or for Disney World or for whatever it might be, or if they're targeting that younger demographic who want to go to Florida to party, what are the hottest hotels, the hottest clubs, what's the best beaches, things like that. So I think that little bit of focus can definitely take them to the next level.
Thumbnails, I would say these are generally of a very good standard. The creator is certainly testing with no text or very little text, and they're letting one landmark picture or image from the location sell the location. And of course, Florida lends itself very much to very clear blues, which can then contrast with the rest of the thumbnail. So I'm very encouraged here as well.
Can we sort by most popular when you get a second?
Yeah, good question, Jeff. I was going to do that next, see if there's anything popping out here that we can spot.
One of the things that I think I saw, but that they might be, they're kind of letting it pass them by, because I see 2 videos here. The top things you shouldn't miss and top things to do at Cocoa Beach. One of the things they're missing here is if they're going to do a listicle or even free things, put a number with it. Top 3, top 5, top 10, whatever it is, and really format the video that way to keep it snappy and going. That keeps people's attention going with it. But I think they're missing out on that because, top 5 is such a huge, like the listicle of top 5 is so massive across YouTube that it's something I'm personally taking advantage of, and plenty of creators are taking advantage of, and they're kind of missing it on this one. They really should try something along those lines. Whatever it is, if it's Orlando or Cocoa Beach or Daytona or whatever, they probably already have the knowledge and probably the footage or B-roll to make this video quickly. So this is something I think that it's kind of a low-hanging fruit that I think they should go after.
Viewers start to almost do like a subconscious time calculation, don't they? If this video says, for example, 15 things you shouldn't miss at the Kennedy Space Center, and it's 60 minutes long, that you subconsciously now think, oh, I'm going to get something new every single minute, rather than if it's only 3 things, then the creator's talking about something for 5 minutes, and maybe that's a bit too long. But I agree. Maybe testing the listicle idea certainly in the titles would be a good idea. And I was just looking at the titling structure. Like, is there top things you shouldn't miss? Is that a title that specifically works well? Or what you need to know before visiting blank? We've seen other channels sort of use a through line title in all of their content that works really well. Travis, I see you've just rejoined us. Is there anything else you would like to add before we maybe move on to the next channel?
No, I'd say move on, but I love the thumbnails here. They're just really good.
Yeah, we agreed that the thumbnails looked really, really good there. So that is Carissa's Travels Florida. Are you using your community tab yet? Yes, you are as well, which is excellent to see. Next channel we're going to look at. All right, so I saw you pick this one, Jeff, and just as soon as you look at the channel banner and the thumbnails, you get that warm glow feel from this. It's just something really visually appealing about the orange and the blacks, which always work well as colours. And I've not seen it before really in the tech area, except for sometimes when MKBHD that uses this as a background.
But no, this exactly like as soon as I clicked on it when we were looking through, I was very intrigued because it hit me with the value right up front. I'm like, all right, and he's hitting on three things. He's carrying the whole vibe of the channel. It's called Social Vibes, but he's carrying the vibe from his banner to his profile picture to the thumbnails, and that's also the backdrop of his videos. Like, it's so on brand for himself. And when I watched a couple of the videos real quick, just kind of see, okay, what's the vibes, right? Social vibes. Let's see what the vibes are. It's actually really good. He has a really upbeat personality. The production value is top notch. So I'm really impressed with the channel overall. So, and he's doing a good combination of both full length and shorts content, which I was really, really surprised by.
Wow, I'm seeing I saw a very strong MKBHD vibe with that intro, but yeah, look at that as well. Also in the studio, he has that on-brand color scheme, which is absolutely phenomenal. He's doing lots of B-roll here. Yeah, very. Well, ooh, that's a complicated image.
That's Da Vinci.
I'm very impressed already. I mean, this is a channel that, in terms of its size, is operating at a channel with tens of thousands of subscribers. And just going back to the idea of branding, I think this is one of those channels where once a viewer becomes loyal and returns to their content, when they see a thumbnail from Social Vibes on maybe the browse or suggested, they almost don't even look at the title or, specifically what the thumbnail is. They just know it's a Social Vibes video and they click on it because of that really strong orange black theme in the thumbnails. Fantastic work here, really fantastic. Yep. But having said that, with a channel of 500 subscribers, how long have they been on YouTube right now? Wow, they've been on YouTube for 10 months. So, I would be hoping and expecting this channel has grown a little bit more. So maybe let's start to ask the question, what's currently holding them back? Is it the fact that they're being reviewing too much coffee stuff when it should be more about tech? Or is it just they don't have enough focus on a particular piece of tech?
Yeah, for me, everything you guys, I agree with. It looks like he's doing a lot of, he's starting to kind of do more cinematography stuff, which is, I think, the vibe is right. I wouldn't lean on in the branding, talking about coffee. If you want to have that be a part of the video, that's fine. But I would leave that out of like the branding, like in the banner and stuff, and just focus on the tech, which it looks like he's been doing lately. And those videos are starting to do better. I think this is what he should be doing personally, just because he's got the vibe right. He's got the kind of the emotion right. Everything just looks great. And I think there's nothing wrong with bringing in a call, like at the beginning of the video, like he could be sipping coffee, talking about what he's going to do. Like if he wants to combine it there, that's fine. But I wouldn't probably combine it too much in the overall messaging. I think it's two different viewerships. There's going to be the coffee viewers and then the tech viewers. And while there is a little bit of crossover, I think the crossover is way too small to be kind of targeting. I just like what he's been doing lately, and I think that's what he should be focusing on.
Yeah. So the strength of this channel looks as if it's on cameras, right. Blackmagic pocket cameras, Canon cameras. I'm just going to sort again by most recent. Still a bit of coffee stuff in here, a couple of microphones, a couple of lights. So I mean, if this channel really wanted to, if this channel wanted to really niche down, just to try and build that on, that specific target audience, it would be on, I don't know, is it consumer cameras or is it professional grade cameras? Let's just have a
I would say mid-range is where he's at, because he's not at like super pro range, but I agree with Travis too, because there's a lot of reviews of like coffee machines and stuff, and he's right, the same viewer, you got to think about that Venn diagram of coffee review or coffee machine reviews and camera reviews, and then you have to find that audience in the middle ground. So it makes YouTube kind of try to figure that out. If anything, I would probably lean more on the camera side, but you can still do it cinematically and show the coffee maker, like, hey, today I'm going to be making this coffee on this, and you show the coffee maker, but I wouldn't do like a whole review on that machine. I would have that as a separate piece of content somewhere else probably, but really like leaning into the camera stuff, and if they're into it, tutorial stuff for that stuff, because like me, I'm not a photographer. I have no idea what I'm doing with cameras, and everything that I've learned have been either through friends helping me or watching how to do settings on Canon, how to do settings on Sony, best live stream settings, best, video settings. So whatever it is, I mean, simple stuff like that, it may not give them a ton of views up front, but it's going to be slow burn content that could bring a lot of views over time and also start to build up that core camera audience, especially when you're catching people right at the beginning of their journey with cameras. That's a huge audience on YouTube of people that are looking to find out that information. So instead of like targeting the super professionals out there that probably aren't coming to YouTube to learn anything, I would probably start trying to at least go after some of those beginners.
So I think we would all agree here in that the creator has got almost like 90% of their channel correct, but the thing that they're missing, the crucial element that's just meaning that they're not getting the momentum and traction that they would want, is perhaps a specific target audience or channel focus. Maybe one of those two, which just isn't quite right. But once they nail that, then I would assume that this channel could start to grow very, very quickly, just given the production quality and style of the content itself. It's just that pitch, that marketing pitch to the audience maybe isn't quite right just yet. And so that is Social Vibes there. Let's move on to the next channel. And I think this is the one that you picked, Travis. And this one looks very, very cool. Jaster Brick. And from what I could tell, just from a very quick look, is that they custom make Star Wars scenes and ships and stuff, which looks very cool to me.
Yeah, and I like kind of the color combination and stuff that's going on there. Like it's interesting. When I looked at and they haven't been doing very long, that's just a couple of months. When we look at these kind of Lego channels and stuff, we see a completely different vibe to them than this.
Yeah,
which is what this kind of caught me off guard, and kind of at first I had to take a double take. Now this could be a good or a bad thing. I'm hoping that these shorter videos are shorts. I would imagine for the amount of views they are. But I mean, you look at this channel and they're just crushing it. I mean, for a channel that only has a couple of videos, like each one well over 1,000 views, with the exception of this last one, is really kind of incredible, which means I would imagine that the content itself is pretty darn good. And this kind of different look is working for them. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. I know that Jeff plays a lot with Legos and understands that kind of niche a little bit better than me, but it caught my eye enough to choose it. And I think for me, it just looked way different than the Lego channels we've looked at before, which made me want to take a look.
Yeah. Plus, they're also doing timely content because of the Star Wars stuff that they're talking about is content that is relevant in pop culture right now, whether it's stuff that has to do with The Mandalorian or stuff that has to do with the Bad Batch or things like that. So taking advantage of those trending topics within the Star Wars universe is a smart play. But I agree. This has more of a grown-up vibe to it, more in tune to the type of Lego channel that I would personally watch myself, especially with MOC stuff. For those that aren't familiar, MOC is my own creation. So people that are taking Lego and building their own stuff with it. So if you're into that kind of stuff, then these are the kinds of channels that I like to look at, just because I don't have the mental capacity to like create my own vision this way out of Lego. I'm just not artistic like that, but I love seeing it. I love seeing people's builds on that stuff. And if your build is good enough, obviously Lego does pick people's sets. Like they have the Seinfeld set that just got approved. So now there's actually going to be a Seinfeld set coming out here pretty soon. But this is something that's pretty awesome. And I agree. I see exactly why it caught Travis's eye, because as soon as I saw the thumbnails too, I'm like, all right, very clean. Like look at the clean backdrop of the thumbnails. I mean, it's just, yeah, there's something different about it, but I like the vibe. And just to be clear, Jaster Brick is in the chat as well.
So, question, do you think this creator experimenting with a different thumbnail here, and it looks as if it's a relatively new video, but it doesn't look as if it's connected as well with maybe their existing audience. So I think obviously the creator would want to look at the click-through rate here. Right. I think this is an example of this is why you shouldn't really use text, because you're putting too much text over maybe the build itself, and you're giving too much emphasis to your logo there. We preferred it when it was cleaner. I mean, it's only a sample size of one video here, but that kind of is where I'm coming from with this latest thumbnail. Not that it's a bad thumbnail, but it's different, and I don't think it's working with the audience.
Well, the focus has been pulled away from the actual build That's the beauty of the other thumbnails, is you're getting to see the actual piece without a lot of text or the logo getting in the way. Now, when you're looking at it, look at how much of the percentage of that thumbnail is missing. You know, it's not the entire build now. It's a huge portion of it. Probably what, like 20-25% of it is now a logo. That's prime real estate that's being used up for the wrong reason. So, I mean, branding is always good. That's always a good thing to have. But on the thumbnails, it's got to be what gets people to click on it. And I don't think they're going to click on it for your logo. I think they're going to click on it for the build itself.
Now, I just want to play one of the videos here to give you an idea of that's their intro, which is 3 seconds, and then they're straight into it with characters. And then I think it's mostly time-lapse building here and adjustments. There were a couple of things I did want to mention here. As far as I'm aware, it is just music that's playing. I don't think they're doing a voice narration as they're building. I could be right. I only watched a couple of videos. So you may want to think about narration in the future. Or if you don't want to do that, then perhaps some text on screen to maybe explain what you're doing, like, or how much this costs, or the number of pieces it requires, that type of thing. Because I think when we get into it, there's quite a long section where, you know, this is cool. There's some sort of satisfying element to this time lapse of something slowly being built. But I feel as if for audience retention, for me, I'm probably going to get 30 seconds into this and think, all right, I need to see something different or something more than just a build. And so I think just going forward, there are slight adjustments you could make to the content itself. If I'm wrong here, Travis and Jeff, do let me know. But by now, I'd want to see something maybe more than just the build itself. Like, you know, how many pieces are required here? Like, what are you using?
Yeah, no, I agree. Some sort of help would be helpful too.
And then I was just wondering, because now you've said my own creation, I am not seeing anything here in terms of how I would be able to build this if I wanted to. When people do my own creations, Jeff, do they almost like sell a construction instruction booklet or like a glossary of all of the pieces they would need to build it?
Some people do. Some people give it away, but some people do sell it. Like when I went to build that the bike from Akira, I had to buy the book from the build guide, and it actually came with decals and everything for it. I had to buy that book from the brothers. They're called the Arvo brothers. Okay. And I had to buy the book from them. It was like 30 something bucks. But the problem with that book, just as a side note, was that the pieces required were astronomically expensive.
I assume you got to source them from loads of different places as well.
Yeah, I think I had to tell you about that. There was 2 pieces where actually there was 4 bricks specifically that were like these plates in red, and to find them in the aftermarket, they wanted $80 per brick. Oh. And I was like, wow. You can keep those. I'm going to go ahead and buy these from somewhere else. So, but it was just one of those deals where I was like, what? But just as a side note, but yeah, that's some people in the communities will just give you the instructions. Some people will sell them to you. It just depends on where you're at. But there's been plenty of times when I was back in the forum days where people would just give you the instruction sheets. They're like, oh yeah, here's the PDF here. They'll just email it to you, and then you can have a PDF and build whatever you wanted.
I guess I don't know what the copyright / intellectual property conundrum is here for somebody perhaps selling a custom Star Wars build of Lego. There's probably a few hoops to jump through there. But in terms of how you may be able to monetize your channel before you hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, I don't know if that's something that the creators eventually maybe going to explore. Because right now these are cool. This is awesome. I want to do that myself. And how would you take the viewer to the next path of that on your channel?
Oh, but a good way to get a mailing list going is you can say, hey man, sign up for the email, and then when you see a new video drop with this build, I'll also send you my build guide in an email, and you build up your email list that way.
Cool. Just a brick there, channel, and thank you for finding that one, Travis. Really cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of somebody Travis knows, in our tweets of the week, Dan decided that we needed to know who this man was, but only the wrong answers would win a channel audit. And I think we just went plain and simple here, and somebody thought that this was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And The Rock confirmed that with a nice big smile. So the winner there was Dabby Cat. Let's audit their channel. We are looking at, from their channel banner, definitely a Minecraft channel. They have 300 subscribers. And I would say, from just looking at the thumbnails and the titles, they are doing fun exploration skits, almost sort of on the verge of dank, memey type stuff around the universe of Minecraft, which all seems like a good way to maybe approach this. Can be a little difficult as a new creator in the Minecraft space, but given that you have 300 subscribers and the view counts are all triple digits, sometimes into the 200s, I think that's an encouraging start for the channel. Welcome your thoughts, Jeff and Travis, because I know so little about Minecraft. I need some help.
Minecraft YouTubers on April Fools be like, so that feels like a shorts thing, even though it's a little bit over a shorts thing. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because this is obviously a personality channel. That's just leveraging Minecraft as the tool to do that. But that can be kind of a hard nut to crack. Having said that, some of these videos have some pretty decent views on them. It's a little hit or miss. I would look at the ones that are hitting and try to figure out why those hit. Like, was it a topic? Was it the editing? You know, was it timely? Because some of these are kind of weird. Like, Zombie IQ test is a very unusual one, but it's very short, so it might have been the short that got it there. A couple of shorts here and there. What is the Tyrannus SMP? So a little bit of a question and answer. A Bed Wars YouTuber. So yeah, it's a personality channel. It's very difficult to break into this without like an extremely kind of charismatic personality, but and then some really hot topics. So if you really want to get into that, I would definitely be looking at other channels that are doing this successfully and try to figure out exactly what it is people are kind of engaging with and what they like, and then try to figure out your own twist on that.
I would just maybe add to that, Travis, in that you're right that it can be a very hard topic to crack. But I think given how many Minecraft channels we see on a week-to-week basis and how far this channel has already come with, what, 30 Minecraft videos in the last 7 months. Yeah, that's not actually a bad return for 300 subscribers and approaching 10,000 views. I think there's already some success there. And as you say, I think constantly tapping into the Minecraft zeitgeist and picking out these ideas and turning them into stories is definitely the way to go. I think just try to be the first, almost one of the first out there with these kind of stories and adventures. And really trying to almost win the mention, or the hitting on the big theme topic, or even YouTube creator in Minecraft is certainly going to give you more exposure and traction. Jeff, by all means, if you have anything to add, but if you're a Minecraft noob and you'd like us to move on, I can certainly do that as well.
Well, just as a fun fact, I've actually never played Minecraft ever in my gaming career.
That's really fun, man. We should try.
Yeah, no, I've heard. I'm just like, I've just never done it, but after doing all these audits on these channels, I've become very, very intrigued. So I may have to give it a try, but just as a fun fact. But I agree, leaning into the meme stuff, especially for this, whether it's picking it out through Discords or whichever way you're finding information, even if it's TikTok or whatever it might be, whatever these kids are doing nowadays, these TikToks and Instagrams, it's a smart play. Extremely smart.
So a decade ago, Jeff, I was in the same place as you. What is this Minecraft? Let me give it a try. I got it for the Xbox and I spent 3 hours building a house.
Yeah.
And all of the time I was asking myself, when can I kill something? And well, it never happened, so I stopped.
It's different now. You can absolutely go out and kill things, but I use it more as a relaxing thing. Like if I just want to kind of chill out and play something without like any kind of purpose, without having to dodge bullets and stuff, that's what I'll play. But there are plenty of things to kill in Minecraft.
Yeah.
We had some runners up, by the way, on this tweet, and so here are some of them. This is Macho Man Randy Savage from an alternative dimension. I can see where that comes from. This one a little more sinister. Blaze Chicken 21 said, "Oh, that's the guy who was driving the van which said free candy. What a nice guy, giving kids out there all the candy they want." I can tell why we didn't choose that one as a winner. And we're just going to go for the Rob on steroids, quite clearly. Let's move on to the next channel that we're going to audit here, and this comes from our Discord universe, which continues to grow and flourish. Thank you, Daniel, as always, with your community management. I can see you posted a couple of polls in the chat as well. Thank you very much for that. The Discord is where we invite all of you to converse and suggest ideas and help each other when we are not available for channel audits. This, for example, is the thumbnail chat where people just submit their thumbnails, and many people offer their advice and suggestions. And those people who are offering the most valuable advice and being a decorated member of the community, we choose for an audit. And this week, we have chosen somebody who I've seen in the comments and in the chat for many, many months, almost eternity. It is Lil NL. So this video ends, I think that's an Among Us reference, and you have approaching 20,000 subscribers, which is amazing, but the views on the recent videos seems to suggest that all of those subscribers are no longer interested in your channel. So let's just find out why that is first. If we go by most popular, definitely getting a Among Us YouTube Shorts vibe here when they were really nailing that topic and they were having these viral moments. But I think there's two challenges here that I think have hit many creators in the YouTube Short space. YouTube Shorts has got incredibly competitive very, very quickly, and Among Us itself has taken a bit of a nosedive in terms of popularity. And I think this is one of the challenges with creators where they have these viral moments and they pick up this astonishing audience, but they did it maybe through something popular or something new, and they weren't necessarily sure what target audience they were aiming for with this stuff, and they don't know how to, I guess, keep the interest of that audience, and that seems to have borne out with their latest content. So we're seeing stuff about, I guess, we say dank meme sometimes, where we're not really sure what the creator's talking about. I mean, even when they do continue with the Among Us stuff, you know, I've still seen a video with 1,000 views there, 1,000 views there, so they still have a presence in that area, but maybe they're trying to transition onto other stuff, whatever that stuff is. So I'm thinking here, Jeff and Travis, I'm thinking basically channel focus. There is kind of a channel focus there, but they see that maybe niche is dying and they're trying to transition and they just haven't figured out what to do yet.
Yeah, and it can be done successfully. You know, what was our friend Jake Fellman? You know, that's a prime example. So, Yep. Jake
Fellman, I think what he had is a theme or a topic that he could latch onto, but he had, you know, there was a unique superpower behind that, which was his 3D animation skills. And maybe Lil NL hasn't been able to bring that to the surface of his content just yet, because we can't necessarily see that in the thumbnails.
Right.
Yeah. It's a difficult one because, you know, in watching this, it does feel kind of meme-ish or whatever. And sometimes those channels do very well, but a lot of times it's based off of one or two memes that did well, and it's difficult to grow here. It really is. And, you know, excuse me, the thing that I'm looking at here, I see a lot of shorts. I see a lot of shorts. I see a lot of Among Us shorts. So, and by the way, it seems like a lot of these were kind of old, so they got like a month or so ago, but that would have been more popular like 7 months ago or 8 months ago. So it seems like you were already a little too late on some of that stuff.
I think he was there during a surge.
2 months ago, Among Us has been over for a long time as far as like the true popularity has been over for a minute. But then, you know, I just as Rob is scrolling, I still don't get the channel. I think that's the problem. And that's the actual problem. So it would take some time. It would take some thought. You really have. By the way, what's the most popular video on the channel? Like, what's their?
So it was some Among Us stuff from 6 months, 4 months ago, when it was more popular.
Yeah, so the problem with that is now you've got to think about who those viewers were and now try to appease them now. And I don't think that's what's happening here.
Yeah, I've been watching the Creator Insider channel, and I've been talking about. So when you have this audience, what you've got to try and think about is what are they going to be watching in 6 to 12 months' time? And so you think about that in terms of your audience. You know, it's probably children, maybe let's say 8 to 16 years old, and they're playing video games, and that type of person's target audience, their wants, needs, and desires change almost instantly, almost randomly. So how do you predict what that audience is going to be wanting to watch in 6 to 12 months' time? And then so maybe you think, well, maybe it's not necessarily about what they're watching is, but what things do they like? Do they like a certain comedy that's or they like a certain type of game or story being told? And maybe that's where the strength of the creator perhaps comes into play.
Yeah, 100%. And since a lot of these people were watching Among Us, I would then look at some of the channels that were doing Among Us and doing it very well and see what they're doing now.
Yes, good point. Good point.
See if there's a new thing that those people might be interested in.
Yeah, because especially if they're targeting the same audience, it makes perfect sense to see what those guys, because if they're successfully transitioning from Among Us to whatever this other thing is, that at the very least could give Lil NL an idea of maybe a possible new direction on some stuff that they can experiment with.
Yep.
And maybe another key here is that you don't necessarily want to look at channels with millions of subscribers, because they can really take their audience on a journey wherever they want. It's maybe channels of a similar size that found some success with Among Us, but then, you know, they're 10,000, 20,000 subscribers. They were able to transition onto something else successfully.
And Rob, a good place to find this information is within the channel audit tool. If you look at your top suggested non-owned, you might see some channels in there that you might not be familiar with, but since they're sending you suggested traffic, it'd be a good place to start to see where that traffic might be coming from, and you might get some ideas there.
So what you're saying here is this is the channel audit tool, and we're scrolling down here to top suggested non-owned videos. So essentially, you obviously get a lot of traffic from your own content, but when you're getting traffic from other videos, so that's suggested traffic, that's YouTube putting 1 and 2 together, this is where it can be really valuable. So for us, we're looking at stuff about copyright. Yes, we've made videos about copyright, so there's connection there. Starting a gaming channel, we've got some connections there. And of course, YouTube Shorts and copyright again. So, you know, if we were looking for new ideas for our audience, that's where we might be looking these top suggested videos, but not from our own content. Nice segue there, Jeff, bringing in one of our tools. Nicely done. So that is Lil NL from the Discord community. Thank you as always. I'm sure Danny will have a link in there soon, or it's in the description if you want to join our Discord group. Next up, we're going to do a couple of shout outs. This is essentially where we just pick a couple of random channels and we'll say 1 or 2 things about the channel. It's not a full audit, but it doesn't discount you from being audited later on, which has sometimes happened. So, Jeff, you were going to say hello to
Gerald Winter. Hey, how's it going, Gerald Winter? 344 subscribers. And looks like they might be playing a couple of different games. But one of the things that I'm seeing here is Friday the 13th. At least there's 2 of the top thumbnails, and it's also in their banner a little bit there. But looks like Friday the 13th, Ark Survival. Looks like there's some Fortnite thrown in there as well. So it looks like they're playing a bunch of different games. If anything, I would start thinking about maybe trying to focus down a little bit on whatever's working best for your channel. But either way, have fun while you're doing it.
It was Grand Theft Auto 5 a year ago, and they left that. But we all know that Grand Theft Auto 5 seems to be one of those seminal games that just continues to have traction on YouTube. So if I want to return to that,
you know what's interesting? Speaking of Grand Theft Auto 5, I have been obsessively watching for the past week and a half Grand Theft Auto 5 roleplay, mostly on Twitch.
Yeah.
So I've been watching the heck out of that, and I can't stop watching it. So there is a lot of life left in that game.
I think there was a term there that you used, which was perfect, Jeff. Thrown in. You know, I think when there's just stuff thrown into the channel, then you know there's maybe a lack of channel direction. Travis, you're going to say hello to
Nardsky Kodum, PH. I assume that's Philippines, maybe not. And looks like they're playing. Let's see. Well, Thermite. That's interesting. That's from Grand Theft Auto Roleplay.
Call of Duty Mobile.
Call of Duty Mobile. There you go. Look at that. I would have never known that. So cool to see some mobile channels out there. I know there's kind of a controversial thing between like desktop players and mobile players. Like, is mobile gaming really gaming? I say it is, of course. I don't know why people are so hating on that. But anyway, great mobile gaming channel here with a couple of videos that done really well. Like this latest one, 1,000 views in 3 days. That's not bad at all.
Yeah. Super consistent, 5,000 subscriber channel, focusing on Call of Duty Mobile. So looking to a previous channel, which wasn't necessarily doing that. Yeah, very healthy community there. Some of the titles maybe could do with a little bit of work, although those are maybe shorts. And I think there's maybe potential to improve the thumbnails a little bit. But generally speaking, looks like you found your audience and you're hitting that audience with all of the content that you make, which is great to see. I'm going to say hello to Pugal Kathy. I think this is a tech channel, maybe based in the in the Indian Pakistani region, I would suggest here, just looking at the thumbnails and the titles. And you are a creator who is jumping on all of the phones, all of the places, which is cool to see. I think maybe if you can start to focus a little bit more on 1 or 2 phones, just as a way to find a specific niche, because right now you not having any really viral videos. You know, the most viewed video has less than 200 views, and maybe it's because you're just jumping from phone to phone to phone, and it, you know, viewers are interested in a certain phone, but perhaps not the whole tech area. So maybe something to test. You know, the next 5 videos might focus on this particular phone as you have it or it's looking to be released. And we're going to do a shout out again from Jeff. This is
Build Maker Baby, all one word. 412 subs here, and looks like they were doing some stuff with Cyberpunk 3 months ago, but looks like the last video was 2 months ago, so I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe they got some personal stuff happening, but looks like it's been a little while since they uploaded their last video. But also they were doing, wait a minute. So I'm trying to figure this out because I see AE and PS, which is After Effects and Photoshop. So animating an intro. So kind of makes you wonder, there might be a lack of channel focus because I don't know if this is gameplay or exactly what's going on here. Legendary Solo Cyberpunk 2077 solo build, video editor, motion designer. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe they are actually designing characters and not playing a game. Interesting.
Looks that way, yeah. And
like
whatever they're doing, given that they're in the gaming space and they're getting thousands of views already, it's an incredible return. More content, just drill down. Looks like this is the same as Jake Feldman. It looks like you have a superpower in terms of motion animation, and people really enjoy the content when they see it, but they're not seeing enough of it.
It also makes it production heavy, so that's probably what slows them down. So I can totally understand that from Build Maker Baby. If they can't go quickly, it's probably because of the amount of time that it takes. But yeah, at least if there's a way they can get it to be once a month, that'd be amazing if they could do that, because they're getting, last video 10,000 views on a 400 subscriber channel. So
they could experiment with shorts here if they just want to insert like the end product as a cool short, 10-15 second clips. That might be a way of doing it, or starting a second channel to do that. But yeah, interesting stuff there. Your audience wants more. It's very clear. Yeah. And Travis, I've saved this one for you. We are saying hello to...
Travis is not here. So
how's he gone? There's just an empty seat there. I wasn't even looking at StreamYard. Oh well. So, I'm going to say hello to Little Crochet Farm Patterns and Tutorials. You're approaching 200 subscribers. And, when we talk about a target audience and a channel niche, you've definitely nailed that, but you're crocheting farm patterns, and that's a really good way to start. And how many videos have you made? So you started 2 months ago. The fact that you've already got nearly 200 subscribers, and you have some videos, I think, in the hundreds of views, which is excellent to see. I think at this point, with the data that you have from maybe 25 videos, maybe look at this top row of videos and see where the traffic sources came from, the watch time on these, and what made them successful. I can see that there's some short videos here, but there's also some long videos here, which is encouraging that people will watch both long and short form content. So definitely start to look at your data and maximize the potential of the videos rather than having spiky view counts there.
But I like they're leaning on the how-to evergreen as well.
Yeah.
So that's a smart play.
Definitely, yeah. These videos could be getting views for years if you continue to establish yourself. And yeah, some interesting thumbnails. I still feel as if maybe you could really zoom in on that frog, give it super high detail, and then maybe just you with a hand there holding the thread, to indicate how it's been made, perhaps. But a good start there for Little Crochet Farm Patterns. And just as we finish, Travis returns. That was coincidence.
Unfortunately, Nathan's having some stomach issues, and if I don't take him out when he goes to the door, I might have carpet cleaning issues. So
I do apologize.
Every time that happens, I got to run out there. Crochet. That where
we're done. We're done, Travis. You don't seem to worry yourself. We're done. Right. Now, I did notice that some people were asking if we're going to do memes of the week this week. We didn't do it last week. So I think, yeah, sure. And this gives me the opportunity now, actually, to do it like this. So if you want to take a screenshot, I'm just going to move my microphone out of the way in a second. Take a screenshot and meme us. There we are. All right, let's see what you can do with that. Oh, Jeff, you went out of focus there. Hopefully that wasn't for too long. Right, so that is the first hour of the live stream. And something I forgot to do was set up the random number generator. So you're going to see a little bit of behind the scenes on how this works.
That's all right. I think we just gave our friend Junk a lot to work with here.
Yeah, hopefully a lot to work with. By the way, Junk merch, official Junk merch in the house as always.
Nice.
So we have about 400 submissions. So what I do here, folks, this is very simple. I just do a search for my random number generator.
And that's what we need to we got to make sure, man, guys. Make sure you send plenty of love to our friend Junk. Good friend of the channel, good creator, and awesome videos. So definitely love that dude.
Certainly so. And like a bit of a teaser, we have a video coming out soon, which may involve the presence of Junk. So you just saw me there sorting out the numbers. So what we do now is we pick out something from the bowl, and it's 178, and then we take a look at this channel and we audit it. If I can type in a number correctly, 178. There we go. So this is Sam Hulse, and it looks as if it's a photography drone channel. Oh, very striking channel banner there. So let's see what we have here. Over 100 subscribers. Sorry, Jeff, were you about to say something there?
Oh, no. I was just saying it's very simple and clean. So overall, I'm kind of getting a feel for the channel. There's definitely a vibe going on here for sure. So although it doesn't say what he's doing, there's no value proposition there. I'm getting a massive photography vibe from the channel. And there we go. Photography, cinematography. Just based on what he's showing us, like 5 quick tips and then the X and the check mark. This versus this, and then the heading north looks very vloggy, videographer-ish, that Peter McKinnon and Matty Hapuya type of vibe. I'm looking pretty good. The one that I'm kind of not liking, though, there's one that's iPhone versus Canon DSLR, where it's very dark. It could be just my shades, I don't know, but it's kind of a bit on the dark side, so you can't really tell what exactly he's holding. He's backlit. Oh yeah. So as a photographer, I think that's a no-no. Brighten that image up for sure, or retake it. But yeah, I mean, because usually Versus videos, even on small channels, can perform very, very well. I know me and Travis were doing Versus videos back in the day, and that really helped us out when we were both under 1,000 subscribers.
Yep.
Yeah, there's an element of coolness here, isn't there, from the channel?
Yeah, and then I guess because just over 100 subscribers, how many videos are we in here? 4 months and
about 30, 40.
Yeah, it looks like there's a big change in like the quality from the beginning to now, which is interesting. Certainly, I feel like the thumbnails are good, right? Some of them, some like the verses. I don't like that red verses. I'm gonna recommend, Sam, if you don't have vidIQ boost, sign up for the 30 free day, then go to vidIQ Academy, and then go to the, I think it's selecting your niche story, and then class. And in chapter 4, it talks about looking at your retention graph and how to judge success off of that. I feel like that's going to be your bread and butter. I mean, you're going to eventually figure out thumbnails. We have a thumbnail guide too. I think it's retention.
So I'm just trying to find it here. Yeah, the vidIQ Academy, of course. And it is that one. And would it be that one, Travis?
Yep.
Look at that.
Yep.
Look at
How
that.
do I read the audience retention graph?
Beautiful stuff. So yeah, nice segue again there. Awesome stuff, showing you all of the extra learning materials you get when you sign up for vidIQ as well. Some really good stuff from Sydney there as well on how to create your own YouTube studio. So there, Sam Hulse, I just feel as if for you, continuing to get that experience, just making more videos, you know, we can see a slow development in the thumbnails. I think we can slowly see development in the style of content that you're creating. I think with the quantity of content that you're making, that's going to eventually lead to more and more quality. I think like this is a really intriguing title. I just don't think the thumbnail is executed quite right there. You know, it needs to be. I can't really see the drone, and I can't see really the direction of it, but I like the idea of the video.
Jeff, I've seen someone do this on YouTube. Who did that video?
The flying drone through a car?
Yeah.
Well, I think Dobo was the one.
Somebody or someone like that. Was it?
I thought it was original Dobo that did it. Maybe
it might have been. I mean, I saw a video about this.
Dream about drones. All of Oz. Ken Hansen. Interesting. I think he's watching the same videos though.
Yeah, maybe he is. So take you know, heed of what other people are doing, but definitely a great first start.
For sure. Let's now check out a gaming channel, and this is gonna be Nathan Plays, and they already have 1,200 subscribers, so that's an encouraging start. Gameplay, codes, whatever they are, and entertainment. All right, so just looking at the titles and nothing else, I'm seeing updates, I'm seeing full updates, I'm seeing new updates, and I like that as a concept. Dan and I will always preach that maybe offering people up-to-date information that maybe you can get first, or stuff that's sort of relevant and evergreen and specific, is a good start. I don't know what the game is though. Okay, now I do. It's All-Star Tower Defense. I'm seeing that you're trying to engineer this tier list in a lot of your thumbnails of. Sorry?
I said it's the new style of listicle. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I can see that they've added that, but I don't know how the tiers actually relate to anything else on the thumbnails. I feel as if it can be really hard to implement these tier lists into a thumbnail if you don't necessarily get it right, especially with red text on thumbnails.
Yeah, not my favorite.
Yeah, no.
Not my favorite. Oh, there's a coffee tea poll going on in chat right now. Who are you crying out loud? I mean, you're from England, so I know what you're gonna do.
Well, I hate tea or coffee of any description. I can't stand hot drinks. Yeah, I'm very much cordial or Dr. Pepper.
Not like hot chocolate, or you just don't like liquid.
I will have hot chocolate. That, you know, when we go into Starbucks or like you know, there are many coffee places available. Yep. It's always like my fiance is spoilt for choice. She has something different every time, and then hot chocolate, no cream. You know, that's it. All I've got to worry about is the size of the drink.
Nice.
So yeah, come back to this channel. I think they're on the right track here with their focus. Feel as if maybe playing around with the thumbnails is worth experimenting with. And also, just looking at, again, another vidIQ tool, likes to dislikes. Some of your videos are getting a bit of heat. Is that intentional? Or, you know, are people not liking your videos for some reason? And is that affecting watch time? That might be something just to look at as well. But saying that, you know, the ones with the likes to dislikes, the high ones, have actually quite good view counts. Yeah. I'm intrigued here. So what is this? Is this a way to...
People get mad, man. That's the thing where you're talking about fandoms, whether it's games or anime or anything that has a strong fandom behind it, and then you rank it. There's always going to be people disagree, and a lot of them are going to be petty and they're going to dislike. But you're getting them to watch, you're getting the engagement, so that's a good thing. But that's always going to come with the territory with this stuff. Like even me, when I do a listicle and I do a top 5, or something that I've integrated into my recent videos is where I do a ranking system, almost like a tier list, but I rank these products against the top products in that price category, and people get mad because they're just like,
I love it.
Yeah. Oh no. And that's the thing. Like, exactly. Like, hey man, I mean, the facts don't care about your feelings. Yeah. So this is going to be better, and that's what it is. So I like what they're doing, but I agree. Thumbnail wise, Nathan Plays. They definitely need some work. Not just on colors, but just on really cleaning it up and less words. So
yeah, when I'm thinking of a tier list, I'm thinking like something like that it's nice and big, and maybe you're only trying to fit in 2 objects or something. And it looks as if when somebody does a tier list, they're creating some sort of separation with black lines versus the rest of the image. So I've just done a search for tier list. I think, that helps as well.
Everything. One of the channels I like to watch, so it's Austin Evans, but he also has another channel called they did a tier list for fast food restaurants. And I'll tell you right now, like I know one of the guys who's in that channel, and I immediately went to Twitter and immediately told him, no, you got some of them wrong. So I love stuff like that because it does invite engagement, and you'll know when you get it right is when your comments per video are much higher than your other videos, you got an engaging piece of content.
Yep.
So just as an example here, on this one, we're thinking get rid of a text. It's not doing you any good. I would guess that, do you need the game mentioned? I'm not sure. I think if characters are identifiable with the game, you can probably remove that, and then just less of these boxes. I mean, the perfect example I saw in terms of a tier list was this one. I thought this one was really striking in terms of the logos, and there was only 4 tiers. I mean, you can have as many tiers as you want in the video itself, but just for that illustration purpose, you want to try and keep it as simple as possible on the thumbnail.
Now he's claiming that his thumbnails are getting very, very, very high click-through rates.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, what he's saying is the thumbnails are getting 35%.
Yeah, but on how many impressions?
Right. That's
the other thing is like, this is kind of a catch-22. So you say 35%, which is super high, but on how many impressions? Now, if depending on which ones of these there are, it might be like 2,000 impressions, and getting 35% on 2,000 is not necessarily the hardest thing in the world to do. Having said that, it's a good number. So even though it's not like it's 35%, it's spectacular when you have tons of impressions. It's okay when you have very little impressions. But quite frankly, like when you have very little impressions, you are supposed to have a higher number. So I guess it tracks. It's just maybe not as impressive as one might think. When you're thinking about relative. So this one that has like 2,000 views, actually I'll tell you right now, the one that says one day ago with 17,000 views or whatever it is, 15,000 views, if that had 35% click-through rate, I'd be incredibly impressed. I doubt that's the case, but I'd be very impressed. Although it really has a negative impact on the like to dislike ratio. I love that.
It is an interesting caveat that I think we need to add here in that, also consider like click-through rate versus impressions, but also click-through rate from different traffic sources.
Yes.
Because it might be that you get really good click-through rate through, let's say, your subscription list, but on browse features, you're not getting a higher click-through rate because of the quality of a thumbnail. And there's also that concept of topic-specific style of thumbnails, because we're giving our general opinion on the standard of the thumbnails here, are we? Which we say they're cluttered, they're messy, they're not very good. But for that particular audience, those thumbnails might be absolutely perfect. And so that's where we have to, I guess, add that caveat. The best thing, as always, is to test. Like, yes, you may be getting really good click-through rate, but what if it was a thumbnail that looked like this from a channel that gets millions of views? Perhaps even you can get a higher click-through rate. And if it doesn't work, fine, go back to the thumbnails that have been really working for you. So yeah, I mean, there is always that argument as to we're telling you to do this, but your analytics are saying this. It's like, okay, in your circumstances tell you that maybe our advice isn't going to necessarily work for your channel.
I will also
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Travis. Go ahead.
I will also add that massive click-through rate does not define a great video or a video that will always do well, because if it's straight up clickbait, in other words, something that's not really there and people are clicking in mass, YouTube will eventually figure it out because they're dropping off 10 seconds in, and then that click-through rate means nothing. So it's a combination of like click-through rate, average view duration, that sort of thing. It's a bunch of different signals. So definitely get a high click-through rate as you can, but make sure you are advertising the content as correctly as possible.
Yeah, I think you're right here with what you said earlier, Jeff. Facts don't care about your feelings. Or maybe in this one, my opinion doesn't care about your likes and dislikes. Some of these, they're very high. But,
for Nathan Plays Videos, my opinions don't care about your likes and dislikes.
But I'm interested. 20,000. Okay, so this is interesting. 20,000 views. Not that much likes or dislikes. How many comments? Comments are a little bit on the low side as well. So is this being shared externally from YouTube? That may be another factor in terms of your click-through rate. But yeah, I mean, they're all interesting things to discuss with that channel. Let's move on to the next channel that we're going to audit. What time are we on? 12:20. So we will go for a non-gaming channel. I think it might be time to see if Jonk's done his animation for us, given how quickly he can do this. Right, so
I could just see his stick figure character sweating right now.
Right, Darius Tech here. Now, just so what I think here, this is my impression of a channel without looking at anything except for the channel banner. I think they're a channel that compare the camera quality of different phones, because we see that, I don't know, was it Super Saf who created the first multi tripod camera phone to do these types of comparisons?
I think him and Aaron, Mr. Who's the Boss, they had the like 7-8 phone wide thing. I was like, really, bro?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
And then looking at the thumbnails, that seems to be actually accurate. It looks to be focusing on the camera and video quality of phones and nothing else, which I think is a fantastic niche and position to find yourself in the tech area.
I agree. Rob, congratulations. You're correct. You got it 100% right.
Thanks.
We can close this down now because you have just said the most right thing ever.
Sweet. Cool.
Bye, everybody.
Are we moving on?
That's it. We've peaked. Is that
we're jumping the shark from this point forward.
That's it.
Okay.
But one thing I will say, though, he is focusing on the YouTuber face, and if that's working, then awesome. Yeah. That's something that works for some, doesn't work for others. It didn't work out for me, so I went the other way. But
real quick, can you talk about that? Can you talk about your evolution of thumbnail from your face to black and white? I think that's a really interesting thing that you figured out, and I think people need to hear about this.
Oh no! Well, it keeps changing. So one of the things about it is evolution. It's thumbnail evolution, right? So you go from testing things out and making data-driven decisions. And these were ideas that I worked out, with Travis when we were just coming up. I was showing my face because that's what people did in this niche, in this space, and they were working okay. But one thing I noticed is that videos where I didn't show my face, like one of my first videos to blow up, was just the product, and I was like, okay, there's something to this. And I started experimenting with removing my face, and I started noticing a percentage higher click-through rate, like 2% higher when I was doing A/B testing on these. So then I leaned into that even more, and it started doing better and better. So it's really based on your channel is going to be different. Everybody's channel is going to be different, but you kind of have to look at what works. For removing my face is one thing. Going black and white was also an experiment that worked well, because when I was competing against so many channels talking about the same stuff, I was looking for a way to differentiate my thumbnails from the next people. And when you're in a sea of colored thumbnails, my black and white one stood out. So that was something that helped me stand out. But then the click-through rate started dropping off on those. So it was time to evolve again. And I started reintroducing color, and then started reintroducing much bolder text. And for the most part, kept myself out, except for a Hefe emoji there that made an appearance for Prime Day. I still managed to keep myself out of the thumbnail for the most part. But so far, it's actually working really well. And if this is based on niche. Like if the way I have my competitors set up is I'm looking at all the other channels in my space, tech, but audio and talking headphones and earbuds specifically. I'm looking at 20 channels. And out of those 20 channels, only 2 of those creators actually show their face in the thumbnails. Everybody else, it's product only. So that kind of proves to you the fact of what works in this space, what gets people, the type of viewer, the kind of person who is in the market for headphones and earbuds, what kind of videos do they click on? And it's not the videos with somebody's face in them, it's the videos that are just showing the product, because that's what they're here for. They're looking to get a question answered, and that's what I'm trying to provide them. But as you can see, just from 4 years worth of that thumbnail evolution, it changes. Don't be afraid to change your thumbnails. Look at the data. If it's working, cool. But if it stops working, don't be afraid to experiment and try new things. That's what I'm always doing. This is also why I make 4 to 6 thumbnails per video to this day.
Wow.
To this day, I still do this. So there's reasons behind that, though. I mean,
the grind is real, man. Ladies and gentlemen, people think YouTube, you just throw some type of fake thumbnail up there and everything will work right. Jeff over here doing the real work. And, you know, listen, Rob's been doing this for a long time and just about had a heart attack a second ago as he heard the real work being put in.
I do not make 4 thumbnails per video.
Oh, man, it's variations, man. So, like, you know, it's thumbnails with text, without text, with full black and white. Some are color popped where only the product is in color and the background's in black and white. Different text, like sometimes it'll just be the name of the product or it'll be a phrase to get somebody to click on it. And the reason that I make multiples, just to explain why I do it, is I'm looking at the click-through rate. Like, I know how many views I should have in the first hour, and I know how many views I should have within the first 3 hours. So in the first hour, if I see that I'm not getting to that number that I should see on my channel, then I know something's up. And either I'm not getting click-through or something's going on. So I'll make that adjustment. But after 3 hours, YouTube does give you a click-through rate. And at that point, if I see that it's below my average, then I'll make that switch. But that's why I like having multiple thumbnails ready to go, because I don't want to see that the click-through rate's low and then have to scramble to make a thumbnail. I just have them ready to go. But that's a little bit of my workflow and kind of how what do you call it?
So
tedious.
I have a similar-ish philosophy. A couple things. Number one, you should always know, and everyone in chat, literally doesn't matter what niche you're in. What I'm about to tell you, don't do that, Rob. You bring up Savage right now. You bring up Savage right now. You put him down and you put up Savage because he's the one that needs promotion.
Okay.
Yeah. So you should make every single video after you already know the title for it and after you have a general idea of what the thumbnail is going to look like. Everything about your video content needs to revolve around the title. So if I'm doing the top 5 best thermostats for your home, and I know that's the title, I can make the video about that. But if you try to shoehorn in a title after you've made the video, you only have certain options, and it may not be a great title option. So make sure you have that stuff in advance and knowing it. Now, what I do thumbnail style wise is hopefully I got it right the first time. If I didn't, then I'll quickly try to change something. But I always have at least 2 ideas. I don't always change them, but again, it's more strategery. If you want to know some good strategery, have 2 thumbnails. One for if you have any type of kind of viewership that's used to your content, that's used to seeing you and your face, that's when you can get away with using your face. And then after that, after about 48 hours, your content starts being shown to people who don't know who you are and are going to be less interested in you. So it makes more sense to have a more broadly appealing thumbnail. Now, you can go with a broadly appealing thumbnail from the beginning, but the problem is some of the people who are really interested more in you might not care about that subject, but would watch it if they knew you were in it. So I like to have at least 2 at all times. You can kind of go, first 48 hours is this one, after that switch. Now, do you have to do that? No, but you also don't have to succeed on YouTube.
So here's the continued shocking admission in that I still, the majority of the time, reverse engineer the video, in that I have this creative spark for something, and within 30 seconds I've decided whether or not I'm going to make a video on it, and then I just go off and make the video, and then when it's finished and published, I'm now starting to think about what thumbnail am I going to make and what title I'm going to make. And I know that is completely the wrong way to do it. And I've been trying to discipline myself a little bit more to have at least an idea of what the title is going to be going forward. But that's just the way I've always done things. You know, yeah. I'm 2,000 videos deep now, and it's very hard to recondition myself. I guess because I've always been do first and procrastinate last. And I just worry that if I spend too much time researching and thinking about that exact perfect title and that exact thumbnail, that I'll never get to that point where I start the video. And it's actually very similar with a video. Like, I don't know how I'm going to make the video. Like, I can't plan it out until I start, because once I do that, and again, this is just my personal way of doing things, all of a sudden these creative neurons start firing. Like, I'm in the middle of filming something or editing something, and a portion of my head is saying, well, you can do that bit next. It's like, oh yeah, great. So, I'm not telling people to do it that way. It's just how my brain is wired to create content.
Are you saying that you'll be in the middle of an edit, think of something, and then go shoot something, and then put it back in? Is that what you're saying?
So what I do is I shoot, edit, shoot, edit, shoot, edit. I don't feel like and again, I know this is a worse way of doing things because it means you can't batch process or anything. Like, I have a kind of idea of the things I want to talk about, but I know that once I start filming, like, I guess I know I have like 30% of my content is planned on a screen somewhere, but 70% of it is just inspiration and creative moments as I'm making the content.
So interestingly, we're similar in some ways, you and I, in that, like, only up until the better part of this last year have I even gone into researching very much that goes in any of my videos. It was mostly just opinion-based stuff.
Yeah.
But I know that, like, as you get bigger and as I started to kind of get some type of influence, people were calling me out if I got something wrong. So I knew I had to be a little bit more kind of educated on different things I would say, not just go kind of, you can't just say something. Like, Jeff is the worst because his stuff is so good. Yeah. He shoots so long and edits down so much that you can't call him out on any, like, it would have to be like this weird, the stars have to align for Jeff to be wrong about something because he spent so much time on it. Me, I'm kind of like, let me just get enough that I understand so I can give my own piece to it. But it's interesting that you are piecing together the video as you were editing it. I've only ever once or twice had to go back in to shoot something because either the audio was messed up or something, but I never thought to do it as a creative process. And if you have time to do it, then cool. Maybe you get a better video out of it after all. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. It's interesting. I love to listen to these different ways people create. If you guys in the chat do something that you think is weird, let us know. Like, what are you doing? Rob is shooting and editing at the same time. That's interesting. Wow. You have a video or just some?
This is why when I start a video, like, I'll start at 10 o'clock in the morning, I want to finish it by the end of the day because, cold start on it, it means it takes me an hour or so to get back into that creative area. And I hate breaking off to do a meeting or something. Like, I'm in the moment. I don't want to be disturbed. I want to create. And just to give you an idea of somebody who's a complete opposite of this, hang on. I don't know if you've seen this person. I've been speaking to this guy a little bit recently, Ed, Film Boob. If you just watch one of his videos now, they are incredible. But at the same time, I think it takes him it must be 20 or 30 hours to make these videos because the B-roll is phenomenal. Like, he's the through line of his contents. I mean, Travis, if you can, just take a look at maybe the one about monetization. His channel's just blowing up very recently. He's been slaving away at this channel for years at this point and getting no views hardly at all, like a couple of hundred, a couple of thousand. And he's just changed his strategy recently. And I predict that he's going to be a major player in the YouTube education space. What does he say
that he's doing different?
I think he's going to explain it. I think it's just the pitch to the audience. I think he's doing less just raw tutorials about how to create playlists or anything, like being more emotional. Like, I deleted the YouTube Studio app, should you, rather than this is how you use it. Or whatnot. And then this one about I got monetized as fast as I could. Here's how. That's the one that's really blown up recently. Just take a look at one of his videos. They're incredible. And I say we've gone off on a huge tangent here, but I love these.
It's a tangent these people need to listen to because
I agree.
An audit channel say the same 3 things over and over and over again. If they're not listening the first 12 times, they're not going to listen to the 13th time. But what we just said and what you just heard literally is something that someone in this chat could learn and take their channel to the next level. I'm tired and sick of hearing people talking about the same 3 things why they can't grow channels. I'll get on calls with creators and find out that only thing they're worried about is give me the right keywords and stuff, not realizing that that is just a tool and a means to an end that has nothing to do with that. You have to get a human to click. it doesn't matter what keywords you have if they're not clicking them. Like, it's irrelevant. So you have to do all of these things we're talking about. The only reason that we're here telling you is because we know, like, myself have done it, Jeff has done it, Rob has done it for years. I now have helped channels do it. I'm responsible for millions of views on channels that aren't even on millions of views on videos for channels that I don't personally own, because we do the things that we're doing in this chat right now. So pay attention and do it. I love this new poll. Idea, shoot, and edit. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, we've got that one coming up. Where were we? 15 minutes ago, I think.
We were on random picker.
we were talking about how this channel has nailed their niche, and they've gone down the route of they're doing a YouTuber look. And I think it's important to have maybe one of the phones in the thumbnail as is. And, maybe there could be a bit more emphasis on verses when you're comparing two videos, two phones. There maybe could be some like listicle ideas of like why the Xiaomi Redmi 9A is a 5 reasons why it's the best vlogging camera might be an example. But given the fact that you have 2,500 subscribers and the view counts are very comparable to that, I think you're in a very good space here. Yeah. I mean, the one thing I might suggest is you go epic. You compare not just 2 videos, you compare 10 budget phones under $200, or like the best 5 camera phones in the first half of 2021. Like, just go bigger, better, bolder. Like, expand on what you've already done, which has worked for the channel.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
All right, let's go meme time, I think. Let's see what's happened here.
Oh, yeah. What is going on here?
Channel audits. You know what, Jeff and Travis? I would just love to have more like YouTuber chats, like his live streams, where we just find a topic and we just talk about it with like no planning. It just goes off in a weird and wonderful directions. I love having these conversations.
Yeah, I'm up for it. We can do that.
But that's a brilliant one. Very good.
Tears. That's a good one.
Oh my god.
Boys reviewing channels.
No, it's the eye reveal.
Oh no,
that's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh, but true.
That's a good one though. Trust me. That's funny. What? That's
a good one. That's a good one. Oh, blimey! This isn't anything to do. What on earth is going on
creepy, man. They put my face on Linus's face.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh my word! There's some good efforts here. Good efforts.
One of our friends. That's cool. Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Very good.
Good one.
Is that it then? So far, hang on. That wasn't even latest. Wow, that was just what we've just. Hang on.
I saw John come down. Yeah, that's old.
Well,
that was old, like a week ago.
There we go. Here we go.
That's actually a dope. If you look at the top one, that actually looks like a real thumbnail. Like, look at that. Yeah. I think we should go to just because that looks like an actual thumbnail. I need you to do my thumbnails from now on, Ninja. Let's go to your channel and see how terrible your thumbnails probably are. Because that was great. Inevitably, that means your thumbnails are terrible. But Ninja great.
Well, let's take a look. Ooh, cheeky.
Very nice little cheeky. Right. Oh no, they're not terrible.
They're not bad.
They're not on the same level of what you just did, but yeah, they're not bad. They're not too bad.
Ninja Jiao 10 then. So, what's your channel about is the question here. Let's kill him again. Kill the Ice Age Baby, Minecraft, but I am always poisoned. So definitely some Minecraft challenges going on here. And I think also you're trying to inject like compilations from TikTok as well. You had some tier list going on as well a couple of months ago. I'm hesitant to tell you to stop being somewhat random, because you have 400 subscribers, but you have similar view counts to subscribers. Yeah. So the audience is engaging with your content, which is good. It may mean it's a little more difficult to reach new audiences, perhaps.
Yeah, it's interesting channel because looking at, let's see, the subscriber size, they're only at 400 subscribers, but they are routinely getting more than half of their subscribers, sometimes even more than what they get there. It's a little confusing. So I'm curious, are they embedding the videos anywhere, or are they legitimate? Like, are we getting the same amount of engagement across?
Let's just click on one and try and get an idea here.
Like how many
350 views. Well, that sounds about right. You know,
all right. I mean,
a comment every 10 views.
Yeah,
Is a good average.
I mean, that seems to be pretty in line with stuff. And when I see stuff like this, I wonder, like, okay, where did that viewership come from? Because I don't see, like, there's a couple Minecraft, there's some TikTok, like there's an age group there for sure.
Yeah.
But I wonder where the actual, was there a big video that brought people in that we might be able to see, or?
That's a really good question, isn't it, Travis? That sometimes we don't often focus on, like, how was I discovered?
Yeah.
And, we presume it's probably not search. Maybe it's suggested. Maybe it's browse. If it's browse, it's the thumbnails that's working. If it's suggested, it means that YouTube is knowing that when a person watches video B, they'll likely watch video A, they'll likely watch video B. And so I think finding out the traffic sources will be a good next step.
100% agree with you there. I don't think it's going to be search. This looks like some browse and you know, sort of content here. Yeah. And I'm just trying to understand who the viewer is, which I can't figure it out, but it doesn't mean it's not there. It just means I can't figure it out.
Let's risk running the first 20 seconds on a random video. I'll keep it muted.
Oh, cool. Cool little idea.
So I'm guessing it is some sort of challenges and fun stuff that you're doing in certain games. You know, we usually recommend that this is a really hard way to develop an audience, but you already seem to have an audience that's developing on the channel, which is cool.
Yeah. Oh, this is a little bit of gaming. Okay, so that's a game. What about the other one?
You want me to try another one?
Yeah, let's try one of the more popular ones.
Let's do Minecraft, but every 2 minutes the language changes. Is it?
Okay, so the game, but every whatever. I mean, that's a series of things that works, and this is kind of an interesting idea. So I can understand why this one would have kind of worked. I would have tried something a little bit different than languages. I mean, that's kind of interesting, but I think something. So one of the guys that we met, I don't know if you remember this, Rob, back at VidCon 2019, back when the world was a little bit different, we met Skip the Tutorial. And I think he had just gotten around 200,000 subscribers or somewhere around there. And the year before, he only had like 2,000. Now he is up to millions of subscribers. And he had kind of started off by doing Minecraft, or he didn't start off doing, he's been doing it more lately, like Minecraft, but every rock is explosive or something like that. Like these different kind of weird challenge things. And those work really well because they're unusual and interesting and fun to watch. So definitely a good series to try. And it looks like if your viewership is interested in that, continue to try that stuff. But also remember, the more you do like Minecraft related stuff, that's the viewership you're going to bring along.
I would also maybe start to look at channels such as Tommy In It. It felt like it was similar content to that, and just look at their editing styles. You know, there's words jumping on screen all the time. They're switching camera angles every 3 or 4 seconds. Yes, that requires a lot more work, but to grow to a channel of their size, that's the type of time and effort they're putting into their production values. But encouraging signs for this channel with their fantastic thumbnail there. Oh, and here's Jonk. Right, hang on. Let me just sort out the audio here. I need to bring this back in so that everybody can hear the audio. So, share screen again, and then share audio, and then share screen 3. And then let me just pause that. Right, so hopefully everybody should now be able to hear this when I bring it in. Right, are we ready? Let's listen to Jonk.
You'll never run out of time now, as long as nobody else is introduced.
Hello, Travis. Welcome. Hey. Man, it's hot where we are right now. I think, yeah, sure. And this gives me the opportunity now, actually, to do it like this. So if you want to take a screenshot, I'm just going to move my microphone out of the way.
Oh, no. All right. Jonk, don't freak out. The machine was only supposed to turn you into one of them, but they only choose one meme of the week, so you don't have to worry about it. Good job, because I won't know how to turn you back otherwise. He'll never run out of time now.
There we are. That's
I don't know how he does this so
a
fast.
40-second animation in about 40 minutes. I don't. Why do all these animators complain that they have no time to do any animations? Jonk's just ruining that entire industry. Frozen 2, 6 years. Jonk could probably do it in about 6 hours. Come on.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's see what else we've got here.
I'm echoing because you're sharing your audio here.
I think it should be fine. Unless we're hearing double audio. Right, I've muted the audio, I think, from the screen, so that should help. I do like this one. I'm not going to lie. You know what I'm thinking of here? The cartoon Dog Tanyan and the Three Dalmatians. Did anybody?
Yep.
Was that in anybody's
Dog
cartoon repertoire in 1980s?
Oh man, that takes me back.
Okay, cool.
Slobby Monk. Travis, you like channels with memorable channel names? I think this is certainly one of them.
Slobby Monk, it's a slobber knocker of a channel. It is 21 subscribers, 7 months in. I can't tell. Is this an animation thing of some sort?
I think it's game development.
Oh.
It says it in a value proposition. Ooh, that is a bold proposition. New videos
Every month.
New video a month. Okay.
Jonk has a new video every hour, apparently. 6 months of learning game development. I made the hardest game, how to make your game. So here's an interesting thing. This is a different take, a different strategy. And I'm unsure if it's right or not. Because again, I tell people to obsess over the viewer. And this strategy is more for a person that would be interested in watching stuff like this. But I'm unsure if someone who wants to learn how to make this stuff would watch this type of video, and I'm unsure if anyone who just wants to watch stuff about video games would want to necessarily watch this. In other words, I think it might be targeted wrong because the way it's packaged, to me, my opinion, is it's packaged for more casual viewing, but the subject matter isn't necessarily casual. Does that make sense? You understand what I'm saying?
I think I interpret it a slightly different way, but I think we're on the same track here, Travis. And I think that this is somebody's personal game development journey. The problem is, as always, as a smaller channel, people don't necessarily care about your journey to create your game. However, what they might be interested in is the program that you're using and how you did it. So I think the pitch could be slightly different in terms of, like, instead of adding multiplayer to my active ragdoll game, it might be how to add ragdoll to a game using Unity 3 or whatever game development program you're using. I mean, the content could actually be very similar, but I think the pitch just needs to be a little different. But again, I could be wrong. Jeff, have you got a third opinion as the way that this channel is approaching the topic?
I mean, it's a little bit tough, man, because especially with the fact, well, first off, I'm not really too familiar with the game developer space on YouTube itself. But I know one of the channels that I did work with, one thing they were leaning on was making games similar to other games that were popular. And that was sort of what he was doing, like creating these alternatives that were simpler versions of. But it's definitely a tough space. So I don't really have too much to give on that one.
Just looking at the intro to see if it gives me a better idea of what's going on. Looks like they're doing some animation while they're talking about game development. Oh, my internet is so terrible when I'm both streaming and watching the stream on another screen. I'm probably killing it a bit too much. So yeah, what we're thinking here, Travis, is that maybe the creator needs to just think about, again, the marketing side of this, the pitch of the thumbnail and the title to the audience.
Because look at that, how to make your game look better in Unity. You have 134 views.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing, like, that's going to be developers watching that, right? People who want to know how to make it. It's not going to be for the casual viewer. So then what happens if people subscribe on that video and they expect more how to make stuff and you're not really doing that?
Okay, yeah, I see that. Anyway. I see that as well. So that is Slobby Monk there. And what are we going to do now? What time is it? Oh, okay, we've got 10 minutes. Let's go back to some of the random channels from our list. And I think we're going to do a non-gaming channel here, which is 396. Okay. Oh, this is an animation channel.
I love animation channels. It's the greatest.
Hey.
I love that junk guy. He's got good stuff. You already did Eggy Bread. Remember we talked about Eggy Bread last week? Talked about how it sounded like something from England, Eggy Bread. Sounded like something from England.
I think we talked about how they'd had some video that really popped 10 months ago. The Shyla sisters, or Shyula sisters, and maybe making a follow-up content on that. And they look as if they have done.
Shia LaBeouf.
Maybe. No, not that Shyla. Another one.
I gotta be honest. You know how many times I've been ordering for Burger King, the delivery thing? It's kind of bad. I don't even really like Burger King that much, but they do deliver to my house. So I that's just, I know that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I just saw the little thing update and my sandwiches are on the way. I'm really excited. Good to hear.
Good to hear. Jeff, can we add anything constructive before we get on to Savage, maybe?
Let's see. Eggy Bread. Okay. The only thing, let's see. Wearing the yellow. It's okay. 6 Queens. Dance to historical styles. Okay. I know for me personally, some of the thumbnails, the ones that have words on them, can be a bit wordy. The fourth one over, What a Sad Little Life, Jane, the stylized text, it can make it a little bit difficult to read. But let's see, my top 5 favorite musicals. Okay, 6, the musical under 5 minutes. The only thing is, I know you guys probably talked about it. I'm not familiar with the channel or exactly what's happening here. So if they're animation, awesome. But I'm just a little bit lost on this one.
I think, they had this one video that really popped, and I think they've been trying to recreate that success since. It's not really popped for them just yet. So, maybe we're getting to a point where they might want to think about almost a bit of a pivot here or a reinvention. Because they have 300 and 400 subscribers. The views aren't too bad, actually. And again, there's a cadence of content. They're publishing maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks. Given that the videos are generally 1 minute or less, is there a higher cadence that the creator could maybe look at? But I do seem to remember auditing this channel 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we've only seen one video since. So maybe you want to go back to the previous audits for what we talked about in detail. Savage, hello.
My high school rap group was named Cadence of Audio. What was it? Cadence of Content, whatever. That was our name.
Cool.
Cadence of Content.
Cadence of Content.
Cadence
Great.
Of content.
And how often did you do gigs?
We did one song every 6 months, and it was 35 seconds long each time. Okay, Sweet. Let's get to number 25 because we liked the number 25.
25 it is. You always seem to audit channel 25 every single
and
time.
Magically, it's always a different channel. It's really interesting the way that works. Somehow you chose the same channel 2 times in 2 weeks. That's amazing.
So let me just say before you start this, Savage, that the thoughts and opinions that are henceforth are not necessarily associated with vidIQ. You signed up for this Savage audit for a reason, and this is why.
Okay, Treasure Trail, a virtual channel dedicated to YouTube herding. What? Oh, hunting. Okay, well, these glasses, it makes it actually hard to read. It'd be amazing how glasses make it harder to read rather than easier, but that's exactly what's happening here. Anyway, we got some YouTube shorts about stuff that no one's ever going to want to watch. Finding Wild West treasure. All right. Kissing Katie lipstick. I don't know what that even means. Who this? Driving the buried treasure. Diving. Good Lord. These are some terrible glasses. Let me tell you, they're fogged up and got little white things on them. Can you click on that for a second? I am curious. What does this look like? What is this? Is this a video game? What is this?
Which one was that? Sorry?
It looks like a whale coming out of the water. What is that?
That one.
Yeah, the blue one, the diving the thing. I
think that's a bottle. Okay.
A bottle?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me see what's going on here.
Like a ship in a bottle.
What in the 6 sides of what? I know this channel. You know that channel that dives underwater, always finds guns and money and stuff? She done took that channel's content and put it on her channel. That's good. That's really smart. That's literally what I do on my channel. I take other people's content that gets millions of views and I put it on my channel. That's a smart person right there. Look, hi. How you doing? We looking over your shoulder outside. I don't like to go outside anymore. That got canceled in 2020. Looks like you got a backpack there with someone dying on the bottom with a umbilical cord coming out of them. That's cool. I like that. This is a good channel. I would absolutely subscribe to this channel because they got all the things you need. You got walking outside. They got stealing other people's content, and they got an umbilical cord that's like 6 feet long. I like it.
I think we've just found a new series. I'm not necessarily sure on the vidIQ channel, but Savage Reacts.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's really good.
There's potential there. All right. Any final thoughts for the treasure trail there? Savage?
Yeah, that trail went cold. I think.
All right then. Do you want to savage another channel?
One more. Let's see. Let's do. Who was the latest person to sign up? Let's see what foolish.
You always do channel 25 and the last person to.
Because
submit.
the people who come in finally got to sign up and they know what they're getting into. So I'm gonna go ahead and let them by themselves.
All right, then we are looking at skits.
Hey.
Oh Lord, have mercy. Is this one of them Minecraft channels again?
I think it is. They do say that it's quality Minecraft.
I feel like they should just do what everyone does: do a vlogging channel while you're at it. Why don't you just go ahead and do the channel that everyone does? Do a vlogging channel. You do a gaming channel. What other channel people do? You do a TikTok reaction channel. What else? Oh, a challenge channel. Why don't you eat some hot Doritos while you're playing Minecraft and vlog about it? Why don't you just put all that on one channel? Because the same amount of people are going to watch that as they watch this. Skittles is what I think when I see this. Let's see. Okay, what do we got? 45.
I'm wondering, Savage, are you in this video?
I don't know. Am I? Let's see. Think of YouTube.
I'm not going to click on it. Blimey, I don't know what the content is there.
What are you trying to say about that? Okay, look.
Blimey.
Let's look at. I mean, look real quick. Let's look at. I will give them this. I like that S. I like that logo. That S. S for sucks. Just like this channel sucks. Now, one more before we go. Actually, let's do it. Let's do one thing in the chat. Yeah. I want to make sure the next person that gets Savage is here. In the chat, if you want to real quick, like a real quick Savage order, just put Savage in the chat. We'll pick one of you real quick.
That makes it really hard for me to pick the channel.
We're going to figure it out. Don't worry about it. I got this. Don't you worry.
It means I've got to manually search for it.
Savage. No. I got this. Don't worry about it. I'm
all right. If you say so.
Watch what happens. And while you're doing it, oh, there we go. Because we're going to see one of the people we know. Oh, look at this. Most people can't even spell Savage. We're definitely going to get you up here. If you don't know how to spell Savage, I want you on here immediately because we're about ready. Swaggage. Okay, this guy, Fox, we did this one earlier. The Foxy, never mind. We're not going to do that one because we already did that one. I love when people can't spell something simple. Okay, hold on. I see it. TikTok cut. There we go, real quick. TikTok cut. It's 2 words. TikTok cut. Look up the channel. We'll see if we can find it. If we can, great. If not, all right.
Like that?
Yep, and then look up the channel and see what to do. And I think that's probably it. The 24. I'm thinking that might be it. I don't know. I gotta see the logo again. But yeah, let's do the top one. That's it. That's it.
Right. Okay.
Capitalized T at the end. This is it. Okay.
Here we go. Then TikTok.
What in the 6 sides of heck was that with the hair and the things? Okay, hold on. Let me take a look at this real quick. TikTok cut, where you go and you steal all the good TikToks and make them terrible. All right. What just happened? Shorts. What just happened is you about ready to get shut down for copyright. Is that what just happened? And then we see. Let's see, TikTok videos 2021. Did I say funny? What? People don't even speak English anymore. Well, I mean, you can't. What is happening here? Okay, hold on. It's the Scots. TikTok. We'll go to the About channel real quick.
Okay, sure.
Cut. Where we steal all types of stuff and give no credit back to the creators, so we hopefully can make some money in this joint. I see you right now. I see you being savage out there. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and flush. I need a sound effect for flushing the toilet because that's what I would do. That would be the savagery flush the toilet. Look at that description.
There you go, Savage. That's what you were looking for, right?
That's right. Basically, all that means is I stole this. Please don't sue me because I live in my mom's basement. That's what that means right there. Please don't sue me. I ain't got no money anyway. I barely got enough money for the 99-cent meal at McDonald's. Please don't sue me because I'm just out here on these YouTube streets and it's terrible. That's what that means. So let's go ahead and flush the toilet on this one. You got to flush the toilet sound effect. We just flush the toilet on it. We just slam dunked on it. I think my Burger King's almost here. Let me see. Hold on. Let me check. Let me get my eyes. I can't get my eyes. It won't. All right. Whatever.
My word.
Yes.
Savage plus sound effects. There's just a new level of jumping the shark, that, isn't it? Wow. Well, I think that brings us up to the top of the hour. I do apologize if we wasted 10 minutes not auditing channels and savaging them instead, but I hope you enjoyed that.
Look at engagement in chat. Look at that engagement in chat. Look at it.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think the chat rate has gone through the roof.
Of course it has.
That is true. That is true. Savage, do you want to say goodbye to some people as we roll out of here?
Talking about some of these people right quick. I like pizza. I do agree with that. That's a great statement right there. I'm going to talk about someone's mama right now. Hold on. Small town movie critic. That's great. Small town movie critic. Reacting or gaming? I'm gonna select gaming on that one. I don't know why it's a question. It's kind of a weird question. We got what do we got? That Zine Dane guy? Come on now. What is that? What kind of a name is that? Come on. Your mama didn't name you that. Daniel K is in the house. We appreciate you, Daniel K. We appreciate you. Why does that look like it's mountains in the background? I'll be darned. Look at that. Who else we got there? Rob, pull up a couple more.
Yeah, sure.
Nerd Logic in the house. We appreciate you with the 3D glasses. Remember the 3D glasses from back in the day? They never worked. I'm just going to say that. They never worked. They're blue and green. It's ridiculous. Yoki Suhama. I appreciate you. Saroki Sumana. I'm sorry about that. I love that. Calming sounds of bliss. The calming sounds of bliss. And last one, Ideas Castle. Ideas Castle, we appreciate you. Come up with some good ideas for next week so we can get these live streams going. We can make this money. As always, Savage, it's been a pleasure. Get off my live stream. Jeff, I apologize. You always seem to get pushed to the side. Like once Savage enters, that is unfortunate, but that's just the way things go.
Yep. It happens. No worries.
Do you want to say goodbye to some people?
Sure, man. Let's see. Who do we got up next here? We've got JC's Game Room. Goodbye to Lena. She's also in the chat. Let's see here. ND Rage. Keep it chill, ND Rage. Definitely keep it chill. The Spoon and Fork. Shout out to them as well. Gotta say bye to our friend Jonk as usual. And also to all the mods in the chat who have been holding it down throughout this entire live stream and all the other live streams. Highly, highly appreciate every single one of you.
Absolutely. It has been a pleasure as always, folks. Thank you for joining us. We will be back tomorrow when we have our resident lawyer in the house, Emily D. Baker. Do look forward to that. We'll be doing some Defend the Indefensibles again, which I always enjoy doing. I am taking a week off, so I think Dan will be in charge next Tuesday for the channel audits. But in the meantime, it's been an honor and a privilege. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Do take advantage of the free trial that we have here at vidIQ if you want to use that. And I'm just I'm trying to draw out time because I'm trying to find the right thing to click, which will put us in the outro. And I think I found it. Yes, no, what is it? I'm trying to remember which one it is. Oh, it's one of these buttons, but I don't know which one it is because they both say exactly the same thing. So I'm going to go with this one. See you later, folks. Jade is just giving you everything. I mean, there's about 30 different poses you could do with that. And so, yeah, start making your memes and tweets and whatever. And
I know, right? I like this one. Now just add some text. All done.
She's back. Rob is going to try and catch me out, but I know he's going to do Jade for meme of the week. It says 1 hour later, not I hour later. Come on, Rob, don't let me down. I want to show you all Jade's stickman.
Oh, wait, no, I want to say her memes of the week.
No, Jade.
Oh, you want them?
No, Rob.
Yes, I want them.
No, I was joking. I was drawing a roller coaster.